開始，大家有冇問題啊 ？Yeah.
If you don't mind, could you explain the benefit of meditation?
The benefit of meditation. Oh, I can explain it. Of course, I can explain to you the benefit of meditation. The benefit of meditation is so immense that it beats description. It beats the amount of words that you can express. But just to simplify it, it benefits your body and benefits your mind. Benefit both. What is a person made up of? The mind and the body. The mind, a person, I as an individual, I am made up by two most important components, my whole body and my mind. And they always should be working in harmony. But they don't always work in harmony. When your body and mind are not in harmony, what are the consequences? Sickness. If the body and mind, we're talking about, first of all, let's deal with it a little bit more in detail. And what is the body? What's the body make up of? What are elements of the body? The elements of the body, the Buddha said, if we can classify the body into elements, what are the elements? Groups of aggregates of elements that make up the body. We can say 4 major categories. The fluidity, solidity, oscillation of it, and the heat. Now, what's the fluidity? All the liquid inside. And what is the solidity? All the bones, all the organs. What is the oscillation of it? It's the air, the breath. So the breath, everything about a body. Actually, if we look at it scientifically, the body is made up of elements, protons, electrons, small little body cells. That's the body. And the mind is, of course, with the consciousness that you have. And they affect each other. When you are mentally sick, your physical health also has a problem. So when you're doing meditation, you're actually harmonizing the both. And in doing meditation, like yesterday, what we explained in the beginning is you have to be mindful of 3 things in doing meditation. The first thing is your movement, the body movement. How do you move? How do you walk? The second thing is your breath, and the third is the mentality of it. So meditation is about cultivation of the mind. This cultivation not only benefits you physically, it also benefits you spiritually or philosophically. It gives you the idea that the world is fleeting, the world is impermanent, and one should not be looking for material acquisitions, material wants. In the present society, we have enough means to live by. We have the basic food, everything. We have enough means to live by. We always have lunches and breakfasts and basic needs. We can always satisfy them. Enough means to live by. But we don't have a meaning to live for. What's the purpose of my existence? And I'm eating my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner, and I'm doing routine work. And all this routine work sometimes are monotonous. I'm following the path everybody is following. I want to get married. I have children, and I grow. And I raise my children up, and then I become an old woman, and then I'm an old woman. Then finally, I wind up my life in a nursing home. When you're a baby, you come naked with nothing. I come without a penny. And when I depart from this world, I also empty-handed. I go away empty-handed. I cannot bring a penny with me, and I have not brought a penny with me at birth, and I cannot bring a penny when I depart from this world. So there's nothing I should attach to. So why do I have all these mental afflictions? Like, why do I have jealousy, hatred, suspicion? Why is my marriage broken apart? What the relationship I have with my parents? It's always problematic. And why do I have all these encumbrances of life that I have to tackle? Why do I have all these hurdles that I have to jump over? All these things You can find explanations when you are doing vipassana meditation, when you are conceptualizing. You put all your other concepts into a broad perspective and look at them. And look at them. Why am I internally creating all these mental afflictions? Why am I attaching to externalities where they entice my consciousness to act behavior and speeches that I shouldn't be doing? All these things to find answers in meditation. And finally, you may come to a little conclusion that, I shouldn't be looking for fame, money, material, repetition, and status. What should I be looking for if I'm not looking for all these material wants, material enticements? Because money and fame and relationship would not give me the happiness that I want. Even if I have a lot of money. Like, for example, Justin Bieber, okay, the pop star. He make millions of dollars. But if you get onto YouTube and see Dark Seasons, Justin's Dark Season, you will find out that he was depressed. Because of this fame, he had a broken life. He had mental sickness too in some cases. But he was able to go through it. He was able to be successful in overcoming some of them. So happiness is not to be gained from fame, reputation, and wealth. How about Warren Buffett, one of the richest person on earth, a tycoon in investments? He's now living in a simple home, Omaha, $53,000 he bought in 1950. He was living in that little house. That's the house he bought before he became famous. He was living a very simple life, and he got his contentment from appreciation of his job, appreciation not from money, not from reputation, not from status. All these things you learn, you conceptualize all these things in your mind when you're doing meditation, and you're increasing your wisdom. We call that insightful meditation, which will come from the vipassana meditation. Oh, there's a lot more to say about it. It's very valuable. If you can spend 1/2 day coming to the temple and follow everybody to quiet down, to still your mind, to stabilize your mind so that your mind is under a broader, quiet, peaceful, free from inferences environment, then you may gain wisdom, you may gain insight. And it's very meaningful. So why don't you come and try it out on Saturday? So much to say about it, and I haven't organized what I'm trying to tell you, but if you come here, we have an organized lecture for you explaining how to do a meditation, how to do stabilization of the mind, which we call samatha meditation, and how to do introspection of the mind, which we call vipassana. All this you have to learn. Imagine if you don't come on a Saturday morning, what would you have done? What would you be doing? You go to Tim Horton, you sleep in a little bit, you should get up at 7 o'clock now, it's Saturday, you wake up at 9:30, and after you wake up, and then you get onto your messages, your YouTube, your email for another half hour, and by the time you put down your computer or your cell phone, it's about 10:30, and then you go to Tim Horton for breakfast, and then you spend some time in breakfast roll up your cell phone, and then all of a sudden you came to 12:30. Well, what have you gained? If you come in the morning and here and do the meditation, you could have gained a lot of information. You could have stilled your mind. It had a lot of benefits. But people would choose not to come. Sleep in for 2 more hours, enjoy coffee at Tim Horton, McDonald's, go to walk in the park, and that's it for the morning. Why don't you come for meditation? Can I see you next Saturday? You can promise. 你嚟靜坐下，如果你識英文嘅，或者你屋企人咧係識聽英文嘅，你咪叫佢嚟靜坐咯。如果你屋企有年青人啊，更加要佢嚟靜坐啦。因為而家現時嘅年青人咧，多數唔識得點樣將自己嘅身心安靜落嚟， 去思想一啲形而上學嘅，或者係思想一啲人生嘅哲理，佢唔識啊嘛，咁你咪鼓勵佢嚟咯。點解你唔鼓勵你個仔嚟咧？Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. That's all.